Hi guys, welcome to another fairy tale video. Today we have a name that is really interesting. I have no idea what this story is about. I know I say that in every video, but this time I tell you. The name is Riff Raff. The things I could think about were dog or some crazy mystical creature. Let's see if I'm right. The rooster said to the hen, "The nuts are ripe. Let's go up to the hill and for once eat our fill of nuts before the squirrel hauls them all away." "Yes," responded the hen. "Let's go and have a good time together." So they went up the hill, and since it was such a bright day, they stayed till evening. Now I don't know whether it was because they had stuffed themselves too much, or whether they had become too high and mighty, but they didn't want to return home on foot. So the rooster had to build a small carriage made out of nutshells. When it was finished, the hen got in and said to the rooster, "Now you can just harness yourself to it." "No," said the rooster, "you have some nerve. I'd rather go home by foot than let myself be harnessed to this carriage. No, that wasn't part of your bargain. I'd gladly be coachman and sit on a box, but I refuse to pull this carriage." As they were quarreling, a duck came by quacking and pouted. "You thieves! Who said you could come up my nut hill? Just wait, you'll pay for this." She charged at the rooster with wide open beak, but the rooster was on his toes and threw himself at the duck's body nice and hard. Then he dug his spurs into her so violently that the duck begged for mercy and willingly let herself be harnessed to the carriage as a punishment. Now the rooster sat down on the box as a coachman, and off they went in gallop. "Duck, run as fast as you can!" cried the rooster. After they had gone some distance, they encountered two travelers on foot, a needle and a pin, who called and asked them to stop. They said it would soon be very dark and they wouldn't be able to go on a step further. Besides, the road was dirty, so they asked if they could have a ride. They had been at the tailor's tavern outside the town gate and had had one beer too many, which made them late as well. Since they were thin and didn't take up much room, the rooster let them both get in. But they had to promise not to step on his or the hen's feet. Later that evening, they came to an inn, and since they didn't want to travel any further, and since the duck was not walking well, but swayed from side to side, they decided to stop there. At first, the innkeeper raised a lot of objections, and said his inn was already full. Moreover, he thought they were not a very distinguished-looking group. However, they used some sweet talk and offered him the egg that the hen had laid along the way and told him that he could also keep the duck, who laid an egg every day. So finally he relented and said they could spend a night. Now they ordered some good hot food and had a merry time of it. Early the next morning, as the sun was rising and everyone was asleep, the rooster woke the hen, fetched the egg, pecked it open, and together they devoured it. After throwing the shells on the hearth, they went to the needle, who was still asleep, grabbed him by the head, and stuck him into the innkeeper's easy chair. Then they stuck the pin into the innkeeper's towel. Finally, without much ado, they flew away over the heath. The duck, who liked to sleep in the open air and had spent the night in the yard, heard the flapping of the wings. So she roused herself, found a brook, and swam away. That went much faster than being harnessed to a carriage. A few hours later, the innkeeper got out of bed, washed himself, and took the towel to dry himself. However, the pin scratched his face, leaving a red mark from ear to ear. Then he went into the kitchen and wanted to light his pipe. But as he leaned over to the hearth, the eggshells popped into his eyes. "Everything's attacking my head this morning," he said, and went to sit down in his chair to settle his bad mood. But he jumped up immediately and screamed, "Ow!" The needle had stuck him worse than the pin, and not in the head. Now he was completely angry and suspected the guests who had arrived so late the night before. But when he went looking for them, they were gone. Then he swore himself he would never again let Riff Raff stay at his inn. Especially when they eat so much, pay nothing, and play mean tricks on top of it all. The end. That's a very interesting story. I don't think there's a lesson to be learned, which I think is confusing, because they are just basically super mean and get away with everything. Which is, yeah, the duck at least got free, so yay! But really confusing. Also, confusing characters like a hen and a rooster, okay. But then the duck and the needle and the pin and then the innkeeper is a normal human, that's quite confusing. Or maybe I got something wrong. But yeah, I mean, that's why I read these stories. They are interesting and it's cool to look in the past, and it's not at all what I thought it would be about. And I think I embarrassed myself because Riff Raff probably means something in English and I just don't know it. But to me it sounded like a dog barking or something like that. But yeah, you learn something every day, right? Yeah, that's it for today. If you liked it, you can give it a thumbs up. And if you like my videos, you are happily invited to subscribe. Only if you want to, you know, guys. I don't want to force anyone. Yeah, so we will see each other next week in a Scroller Box or Upgrade. You know the deal. Any one of those. Yeah, bye!